Hey, everybody. Welcome to Stay Fishy Friday live stream. And as Bob said, it's fish o'clock. We're ready. All right, let me see what we got going on here.
Yeah,
tech problems. I'm 7 seconds late, and you guys are thinking tech problems? It turned to 6 o'clock, and I started. Wow, you guys are like on it. It can't be, It's still 6 o'clock when I started, whether it's 6 o'clock in 10 seconds or 20 seconds. It's still 6 o'clock, Me and you were talking, and I didn't catch it. I look over, 6 o'clock, yeah. Because you said, Bob said it's fishy o'clock.
Yeah, it's fish o'clock.
So I looked down, and it was 6 o'clock for sure.
Yeah, well, from what we see on the screen up here and what we're actually saying, it's about a 30-second delay?
20-second delay, yeah.
20-second delay to what you guys are seeing anyway. So we hit it exactly at 6, then it's
20 seconds for you guys. Bob Taylor comes in with oh my goodness. Let's see if we can drum up a drinking word. And that would normally be a good drinking word, but I have one better. Okay. So let's forget about the drinking word for a moment, guys. I will get to that. I just want you guys to know that there are no people living here. You guys know last month the other couple moved out, and this month this couple finally moved out. But it was a dramatic thing. Oh my God. Okay. They came here because they were living in their car, and he got in an accident and totaled the car. Car got towed in, and they couldn't get none of their stuff. It was all in the car, and they had to pay for the impound to be able to get their stuff out of the car because the car was wasted. So I let them move in here, thinking I'm being nice. There was another couple here, and then now I got DJ and Stephanie moving. Or wait, DJ and Stephanie moved in first, and then the other couple moved in after. And instantly, it was problems. Like Jerry would come up and he's like, "What the hell, Rich? I just bought these. What cereal was that?
I don't remember.
Shredded wheat?
Mini wheats.
Shredded mini wheats with sugar on it. I just bought these, and it's gone. And my whole gallon of milk's gone." I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. It's one of them. Go talk to them. Next thing you know, Jerry comes up. All my soups are gone, blah, blah. And I tell everybody, look, it's very simple. I get a whole family meeting in there, get them all out here. If it ain't yours, don't touch it. You know what you bought. You know what you didn't buy. If you're going in to use the kitchen, you know what you bought. Cook your meals. Clean up your dishes. It's that easy. Be an adult. And then, now I get them all looking through cupboards and finding what other food's there and this and that. And, it's not a big deal to me, but, to Jerry, who's set on his Social Security money, and this is the only money he gets, he's on a budget. So when he buys food, he expects that food to be there when he goes to get it. I mean, that's just natural, right? And now that it's gone, and everybody said, "Oh, it wasn't me, that couple, this couple, they all said it wasn't me." So I had to start putting cameras on and watching nighttime. And then I caught Stephanie going through the cupboards, and I'm like, why is she in Jerry's cupboards? Oh, why is she in my cupboards? Here, next thing you know, she ate all of Alora's suckers. Now, I bought Alora because my granddaughter comes over here, but anyways, I bought her a bag of Dum-Dums for like $7. I got like 100 suckers, real cheap. But Joshy and his woman decided, I don't want my kid having them. If you want to give her suckers, they have to be, what do you call that? Organic. Okay. So I bought a bag of organic suckers, and now this is $30. Okay. I gave the nurses the Dum-Dums, use them up, put some in Tracy's mouth, throw them away, give her a taste, this and that. So next thing I know, the whole bag of Dum-Dums is gone, but this is after my son informs me that he's not going to let his kids over here because this whole house smelled of weed, and not because I let them smoke indoors, but they go out on the back deck. Now there's 5 of them. This couple, that couple, and Jerry. And just their breathing in the house made everything smell so bad. It was so, I mean, you walk in and you think I got a grow farm going on in here. You know, it was just so bad all the time. So Josh said, no more. You can't see your grandkids. I'm not bringing them over. You can see them come over to my house. And you know, I can't get out. So I told DJ, you know, you guys got to go. And he begged me for another month. He even offered me $400 because he was living here free. I let him stay for another month. $400, which ain't much at all for rent, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, they were staying in their bedroom and never coming out, ever. They wouldn't come out and hang with us. They wouldn't come out and talk to us. And, you know, every night at about 4 o'clock in the morning, they'd come out and make this big, huge mess of dishes and pots and pans slinging around and bouncing and waking Jerry up. And, you know, he's right under them and stuff like that. And I'm like, guys, eat during the daytime, you know, sleep at night, get up in the daytime, sling, hustle, do what you got to do. Try and find a place. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. Next month, oh, can we stay one more month? I'm like, dude, you're keeping me from seeing my granddaughter. So I let him stay another month, and he promised to get a place. They didn't. The next month, the third month come up. And at the third month, he swore to God he'd be out by the first. Now, so 3 months, I don't get to see my grandkids. And all of her suckers disappeared. If she did show up, all the suckers were gone. Now, I don't mind if you eat a sucker or whatever, but you ate the whole fucking bag, and now I don't have nothing to give my granddaughter if she shows up. You know, I was so mad about that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, if it ain't yours, don't touch it. It's very simple. You know if you bought this. You know if you bought that. It's your food. You got your cabinet. Jerry's got his cabinet. I've got mine. It's real simple. Stay the fuck out of other people's cabinets. Don't eat their food, you know. But I didn't know which couple it was because, you know, the one couple I was friends with for 30 years and the other couple I had just met, but they were in a situation and, you know, they moved out of here. And you know what? The stuff still kept on going. So now we're down to the last thing. DJ comes out and says, I can't be out by the first. I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, I need another month. I'm like, screw you. Dude, no, absolutely not. You said you promised you'd be out by the first. I've gone the third month without seeing my granddaughter. And you want me to take another month without seeing my grandkids? No. And he goes, well, dude, what about 3 weeks? I'm like, no. You know, and arguing this and that. And then he got loud with me. You know, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Blah, blah, blah. That ain't my problem. That's a you problem. You should have been on this the last 3 months. You sleep all day and you hang out in your bedroom. You never come out. You should have been out here finding a place, right? So now I got mad at him because now you're making me be a dick, and I don't like being a dick. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You're leaving. You know, you find a place. You know what? He found a place, a nursing home that took him in. He could have done that 3 months ago, and I could have seen my grandkids. So now he left, and then the next thing you know, last Friday we had the live stream here. Oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. I received a message. I wish I could. I can't look it up. I received a message, and it was something along these lines, and I thought it was one of my fans. Hey, Rich, you're not fooling nobody. We know you killed Tracy. We know this and that. You're living high off the hog off of her Social Security money. I'm like, are you serious? Somebody can say that to me? Oh my God. You know, I was like, who is this? Blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't answer. So I let that go. Another message comes in. You know, blah, 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 this and that. You hated her. You treated her like shit. Who is this person? You know, I've never treated Tracy like shit. I loved her to death. I mean, what? Her own family isn't here taking care of her. I'm taking care of her. That's my ex-wife. I'm taking care of her. And I do it with lovingness and caringness, you know? And this messages came in, had me so hot. And then the next day, it was Saturday after the Friday live stream, the two girls that come here for community service, they were like, oh, and they were younger, so they know more about the internet than I do. So then they were like, oh, well, we can do a reverse lookup. You know, what's the number? And I showed them the number it came from, and they're like, oh, it comes back, you know, what do you call that in your phone numbers?
Whatever.
Unlisted. So they're like, and the younger girl goes, I wonder if he has or that person has a Cash App. So they went to Cash App and they looked up that phone number. And she goes, do you know a Donald McKenzie? I'm like, yeah, why? She goes, he's the one that sent the messages. Are you serious? This is the dude I've known for 30 years and helped out umpteen times? I let loose on him. I called that number and I will fucking beat your ass. I will, if I ever catch you, you're going down. I don't care if I go to jail. I am beating your, and he hung up on me. So I sent him a message and I haven't talked to him since. But that's what I get for helping somebody out and not seeing my grandchild for 3 months because they were lazy and they liked it here. Okay. So now they're gone. They moved out. Then I get these messages. Didn't know it was them. I'm cleaning out their bedroom, and oh my God, what a pigsty. My children, I've raised 3 kids, and none of them were this messy. I had to clean out from under the bed, over the bed, all the drawers, everything. It was just nasty. Food left here, food left there, dishes here, it was disgusting. And then I go to wash the sheets. This disgusted me. I've had that mattress for probably 10 years. My son, lived on that mattress and blah, blah, blah. And I put it in the spare room now. It is completely covered with spots of blood. Like, how can you be this nasty? Unbelievable. So now I have to throw that mattress away. It's disgusting. And then here's the worst part. I'm going through the drawers and I'm finding all these little packets of, what do you call that? Saliva? Saline. That they had gotten into Tracy's stuff. Now, the saline wasn't sitting out. It was in a box in a drawer. So they were going through Tracy's stuff at night and finding saline. And I talked to the nurse. I'm like, why would they have all the saline in there? And she said, people that are mainlining heroin use that to mix with their stuff and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you serious? They were doing drugs in my house? I haven't had drugs around my house since the 80s. And they knew that. There's no drugs here whatsoever. Unbelievable. So now they were breaking into Tracy's stuff and stealing her stuff to do their drugs. And that's why they weren't out, because they were zonked out on heroin, Oh my God. It was just so bad. So now the drinking word is DJ sucks, period. That's it. I'm sorry. And now I don't want to ever help nobody else out. I don't want to. I mean, it's pieces of shit turn other people against helping other people, And now it turns out that other couple that was here didn't really do anything wrong. It was this couple, my friends,
Aliens.
So, yeah, DJ Socks, Bellstar, here you go. First one. I'll tell you what, if I ever see that man, ever, I am beating the dog shit out of him. I don't care if I go to jail. I mean, I am just beating the dog shit out of him. What a piece of shit. I mean, how do you take a good person and wear them down so bad to where they don't want to help nobody no more? You must be some sort of next level piece of shit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've had so many people live here, and people were actually, thank you, Rich. Is there anything I can do if I ever, this and that, and I've had people bring me over trays of dinner, that's for helping us out, I'm like, oh my God, thank you, and the world is a good place if you surround yourself with good people.
Parasites don't leave until you remove them.
Yeah. And I had to yell at him for making me be a dick. He's like, oh, so there's no way I can talk to you. Nothing I can say is going to. No, you said you promised you'd be out on the 1st. You got to be out, and it's already the 3rd. And he's like, well, this is some bullshit, brother. I don't have no place to go. I'm like, because you haven't looked. You should have looked. You have a sister. Oh, well, her boyfriend don't want us there. Well, I don't want you here. I can't see my granddaughter because you're here. I mean, it was just, and he started getting loud with me, and I didn't stand up and threaten to whoop his ass. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind I can whoop his ass, but I kind of took it and I'm like, look, dude, mellow out, just go find a place. And he went and he found a nursing home that took him in. So he's just unbelievable. DJ sucks. DJ sucks. And Stephanie sucks too. So I'm back now. It's just me and Jerry. And you know what? It don't smell around here. The first day they were gone, Josh brought over my granddaughter and my grandson, and I got to all hold them both. And my granddaughter was coloring with me and painting, and oh my God, it was so good again. The first day he was out of here, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. So,
speaking Camel Down, that's $1.99.
aw, thank you.
Amen.
Is that because I've been preaching?
Yeah, it sounds like it. I wasn't going to make that connection. I'd leave it for you. You're the preacher.
I am a preacher.
Yeah.
I actually am an ordained preacher. I just get mad sometimes and I go off. There was no reason.
Anyway, speaking of grandkids, during the live stream last week, my grandson tried to call me.
Oh, really?
And asked me to mention him because he was watching.
Oh, really? Is he watching this week?
I'm not getting. I don't know.
Oh,
I tried to talk. Yeah, I didn't try real hard, but I tried to call a couple of times this week. But I left a message. Anyway.
What's his name?
Theo.
Theo, if you're watching, your grandfather's here. He's awesome. Keep on watching. We'll mention you all the time.
Yeah. This one came for a visit and was swimming in the monster pond, and Rich do. We got to watch Reaper's video on that one.
What's that?
When you're trying to dance on that floaty.
Which floaty?
Well, my granddaughter. Remember that?
Yeah.
That pull behind.
Yeah.
That pull behind floaty raft.
That was fun times.
That was hilarious. My granddaughter made him fall a couple of times on purpose.
No, she did not.
Yes, she
did.
I
fell just to humor her.
He was picking on her, and she got even. That was neat.
No, she did not. I let her think that because I'm a good guy.
Anyway, Theo, glad you're watching. If you're watching, if not,
you need to watch more. We can mention you.
Yeah.
And you get to see your grandpappy. He's over here, Grandpappy. What does he call you?
I just Grandpa John. I don't
Grandpa?
know.
Okay. Well, a lot of different kids. You got Mima and Peppa and all that. You got all these different names for grandparents,
Yeah.
I wanted my kids to call me Grandpa.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So Laura calls me Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa. I'm running out of paint here, and I get her, some paint or whatever. I mean, it's just adorable.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be known as Peepaw or Pawpaw or
No, he's I've never had enough conversations with him or been in a long-term social to where there's a fixed name.
Gotcha.
My other grandkids call me Pops, but
Pops is okay with me.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of my son's friends through the years that hung out at the house so much that called me Pops.
Yeah.
And I'm still known as Pops to them,
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because if they were here during dinner, I'd invite them in.
Sure.
They're playing with the kids. We're doing go-karting. We're doing remote control boats. We're doing whatever. I'm fixing their go-karts or their dirt bikes or their bicycles, whatever. Invite you in, and you were part of the family. Wicked Gypsies 13. That's Lori says, "Oh, I made love right there." I don't know what you're on tonight, girl, but this is a PG rated show. Sometimes R, never X. There you go, Jerry.
Equal star, $10. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for your big heart and the selfless way you live your life. Peace, brother.
It's nice to know somebody notices that every once in a while. But I don't understand. I let DJ and Stephanie live here for 5 months when it's only supposed to be a week or two. And then they leave here and they got hatred for me because I wouldn't let them stay longer. That makes no sense to me.
That's the way parasites are, man.
Wow. That's a good analogy. Parasites. For sure.
Suck you dry.
And then, even after that, I get a message from Stephanie talking about how, she's,
Oh, no.
you don't want me to say it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Talking about how she's saying, she's there for DJ because he's got a big, lawsuit coming in and this and that. And she don't want to ruin that. But the moment that DJ goes into his nursing home, she's going to be around. She wants out of his face and into mine. And I'm like, I wrote back. I'm like, I've never given you an inclination I was interested in you. She is not something I am interested in. I never liked her. I've never, and I don't even know if this message came from DJ or Stephanie. All I know is I was like, I've never given you the inclination that I was interested, period. So I don't know why you're saying this. And that was crazy to me because we didn't even hang out and talk. We played the game of life one time, the whole 5 months they were here. The rest of the time, they were always in a room. I don't know.
He said, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Tomorrow is, yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I just now making the connection of Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day.
February the
are
14th.
side by side here.
Friday the 13th is tonight. Nobody go outside. Evil things happen on Friday the 13th. I never go outside. I never drive. I never go to parties. I don't know nothing on Friday the 13th. I'm here at home.
I invite them all to have a conversation.
Summer Lee comes up with the best thing. You stopped allowing them to use you. That's why they're mad.
That's what you do with parasites.
That's why they got so mad. But no, the fact that you can say these evil words to me, you killed Tracy, you son of a bitch. I will beat the living daylights out of you. How dare you? I'm the only one taking care of her.
You're all paranoid about going outside. I'm sorry, man. I invite him to come have a visit.
Yeah, DJ, come on over. I want to talk to you.
No, not DJ. You keep going back to that.
Because it's fresh in my mind and I can't believe this happened.
Now you just wish he was one of the spirits.
Doopy says it's already tomorrow over here.
SJ, whatever.
SJ Caddy 6749. There you go.
Yeah, okay, but no 59, whatever. Amazing the cichlids, how long before they're in the dog bone tank?
Oh, they are already in the dog bone tank. I swear I found one yesterday. I don't know how they make it through the 10,000 gallon per hour major big pump, and then they get out to all these other tanks, and then they made it through an 1,800 gallon per hour pump going up to the dog bone, and there's babies in the dog bone.
Those are mouth brooder baby eggs.
I guess.
The eggs are so tough that they can go through. If 5 eggs get in the impeller, one of them will make it through.
Right. Well, now that we have the drum filter, and it stops everything from 80 microns, and then it sprays it out and it comes down. We're going to have nothing but baby cichlids in this tub over here because it's coming straight from the cichlid tank. So now we can take a net and clear out the tub before we dump the water and put them into a tank and raise our cichlids ourselves. And, it's just going to be better.
It's going to be interesting to see what ends up in that tank.
Randy Davis says,
I got to ask, what is a 59 NOK? What monetary? Is that Norwegian or?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you.
NOK 59, whatever.
Here's another one for you.
Somebody will tell me. Tape pipes 2019, $4.99. Just had an electric eel come in 2 days ago. He's very healthy and active. what do you recommend? Come on, Tom. What do you recommend to get him on frozen food?
Okay. Here's the problem. He was probably raised on live, so he's looking for live. You can buy shrimp and put in there to let him, he'll eat the shrimp, the live shrimp, but starve him for a week and then put in a piece of, shrimp and let it go down. You can actually tie the piece of shrimp, like frozen shrimp, to a fishing line, and you can dangle it up and down and make it look like it's swimming, and he'll go after it. Once he likes it, he will eat it, no problem. That's how we get most of our fish onto frozen off of live. We're still having problems with them two eels. What eels?
Fire eels.
We got two fire eels that
they're notorious once they get picky.
They got picky and they are not eating our frozen food. So we have to, starve them for 2 weeks, and then we feed them something, and then we starve them for 2 weeks trying to give them other frozen food to get them onto it. And you've been fighting that for like 6 months now.
Get them to take a little bit of something once in a while, man, but it ain't no more than a nibble. It's like take a taste, and then they just leave it.
That's how we do it. So
one of the tricks is to not give it to them frozen. Warm it up.
Yeah, warm it up for sure.
And the more it stinks, the more they're likely to go after it.
I don't know what happened here. I've only got this one message, and that's it.
Oh, you kind of locked on it, didn't you?
There we go. Harley Gem says, superstitious man. Well, you know what? When I was younger and I was a bouncer, it seemed like every Friday the 13th I'd end up in jail. I stopped doing it. I will not go out on Friday the 13th, and I don't claim to be superstitious, but there's just something about that day. I stay in my house. And
Okay.
you know what? I haven't gone to jail since.
I Norwegian crowns. There we go.
Manny Davis says, that is wrong. You look after Tracy the way you talk about her, Rich. You are so kind. Oh, thank you. Now, you know what? Everybody that's here says and sees, how nice she's treated. All the doctors that come, and then, the people they send here, like x-ray people and this and that, they're just like, oh my God, this setup is better than any nursing home I've been in. She has got such good care. She hasn't had what do you call that? Well, they sit on their back and then they get a bruise. What's that called?
Bed sore.
She hasn't had a bed sore in 5 years. She's very well taken care of. And I tell people, it's not hard. It's if you care, you will take care of them. Just like if you have a kid, you will take care of that kid. You will change that kid. You will change that diaper. I don't care who you are. You will do that because that's your kid. And she is family to me. And it doesn't matter why we divorced. She's been good to me for many, many years. And I will definitely take care of her forever, period. There's no stopping that. Camel Dan says, better with DJ than that bitch. Don't know what that means, but, okay.
You really backed up.
Well, it jumped forward. I had to go back. Mark Bridge says, love the new drum filter. Looking forward to seeing the results. Oh, it's 6:30. It said Tracy update time. No one reminded me. I'm on it. I'm on it, guys. I'm on it. I'm going to stop this right here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Raheem says Tracy update time. I didn't see that first, but okay. I'll take over the what is this called? The text?
Yeah.
I'll take over the comments. I'll take over the comments right as I'm done with the Tracy update. So somebody write down Tracy updates at 6:30, and there we go. This week, Tracy has been so good. She come back from the hospital, but oh, there was a problem. They gave her IV antibiotics at the hospital because she did have pneumonia, meaning one of the nurses somehow got her to aspirate. She coughed up the food in her belly and it got into her lungs, and it became a bacterial infestation, and she got pneumonia. And we were trying to keep her temperature down. We're trying to keep her heart rate down. We're trying to keep everything down. Where we worked on it for like a week, and it turned out she had full blown pneumonia, and there was nothing we could do. She had to go to the hospital, so she was in the hospital for 5 days, and they gave her antibiotics through an IV. Well, she comes home and she's better. The first day she was better. The second day, her heart rate started going back up into the 40s again, and we were giving her antibiotics that the nurse suggested to us, and everything was okay for a day or so, and then it became better. But at the same time, she broke out all over her arms with like red blotchiness, and it was hard. It was her skin was hard under the red blotchiness, and it was hot. Like her skin was cold, but that red blotchiness was hot. She was having a allergic reaction to the penicillin or whatever they gave her at the hospital. So they had to give her steroids and all this other stuff. And you know what? 3 days ago, it just started clearing up, and she's been so good since. She's been 99, 100 the whole time on her O2 sensors. She's been down into the 50s at nighttime for her heart rate. She's been up into the 70s for her heart rate during the day, which is way better than 140 and 90 at nighttime. She was doing bad back then. So I mean, she is so much better. She is so much better, and she is so much more aware. I start talking to her. She turns her head right to me and starts talking. Looking at me, talking to her. And then I walk around the other side of the bed, and she'll turn her head towards me. And she is so aware this week. It's amazing. And then I'm showing the nurses. I'm like, look, I'll start talking. I'll come in this way. I'll start talking. As soon as I start talking, she's sitting there laying on her back this way, and I start talking to her. She turns her head this way. She looks at me. I'm like, oh, honey, I know you're there. I can tell. You're listening to me. And I go to the other side of the bed and talk, and she just watches me. She can't speak. She's stuck in her mind. But she is interested in what's going on around her. She is so aware. She is doing so good. She is doing so great. So yeah, she's it's been a week of and then they also put a catheter in her, and now they made an order to keep it in there. I don't have to change her 6 times a day, or me or the other nurses, whatever, who's ever on charge. We don't have to change it anymore. She fills this thing up. We have to change it once a day, and boom, just empty it. It is so much easier to take care of Tracy. It's like you almost forget she's there. It's so easy to take care of her. I got my alarms on my phone to where it goes off every 2 hours. I have to reposition her. At 8 o'clock, or I'm sorry, 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, I have to feed her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But usually we have a daytime nurse here in the daytime, and she does that. But, Saturdays, if nobody shows up, or Sundays, if nobody shows up, I'm back taking care of her. So I keep these alarms on. And it's just so much easier taking care of her. She's just so easy. And you can see that she is, like today, I told her granddaughter's coming over tomorrow, and she just looked at me and just watched me and let me talk. And I was like, oh, honey, I see you looking at me. I see you. You're paying attention. I know you can't wait for your granddaughter to come over tomorrow. And it was just such a sweet feeling, such a sweetheart she is, And it's just, oh my goodness, it's just amazing. Okay, Doom says, glad Tracy's doing much better. Raheem says, Team Tracy. Harley Jem says, yeah, better, but now it's catch up on chores. They're always behind. No, I am so caught up on chores. My dining room is clean. My kitchen is clean. And you know what it is? With no couples living here, there's no really dishes. Me and Jerry got this thing to work. All day long, we'll put our dishes in the sink. But before I go to bed at night, even if I have to watch Tracy all night, I will take them and put them in the dishwasher. And then during the daytime, Jerry empties them. And you know what? There ain't nobody cooking at 4 o'clock in the morning and leaving a pile of mess in the kitchen, you know? It's so much better with just me and Jerry here. It's so much better. So there's no really chores behind, and I've caught up on a lot of projects, you know, that we needed to do and getting a lot done. So the next thing we're going to do is take them, what's the fish in there that are breeding, the pink ones? Red dovite, albino dovite.
Is that right? No.
We're going to take them out of the tank and set them up in a tub. We're going to take that tank down, move the big tank over here, which means we have to drill new holes in the wood for the outlets. The what do you call them?
The down tubes.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're I forget what they're called. And then we're going to have to drill new holes over on this side for this tank. But when we walk through the room, that tank will be this small, and then the one against the wall will be high, and I can put a background in there. That's the next thing that's happening, along with putting the glass in for the, what do you call that? The 4,000 gallon tank? Yeah. Hayden says, does the paddlefish that had air in it get any better? I saw your video. You showed it, and it didn't see any with their back out of the water. No, he recovered fully, no problem. I mean, it was just a simple little thing, and we use a very non-obtrusive, small, tiny little needle. It wasn't like a huge needle. Like if we hit the wrong organ or something like that, and there's a big hole in there, and they're bleeding internally. No, none of that happened. We did get the air out, and it's doing just fine. Raheem says, now don't allow anyone else unless necessary. I tell you what, I talked to Jerry about this earlier. I will still allow people to live here, but a female, non-smoker at a time. I'm not letting couples move back in. I can't handle that. It's too much. So there's a female, because, you know, we have to protect Tracy from being seen naked, you know, because we're always changing her. So a female that can move in here and could actually help me watch Tracy, like every day at 3 o'clock, the nurse leaves. I could still work until about, you know, 6, 7 at night if I had somebody that would stay in there. Now, they don't necessarily need to know how to take care of Tracy, a trach and a PIC tube and all that stuff. All you need to do is sit there and watch TV. And then if something goes off, one of the alarms go off, you call me. My phone's always with me. And then I'll come running in. I'll take care of Tracy. But, you know, that would be appreciative to where I can continue working, because now I'm trying to work after 3 o'clock by carrying around a Samsung tablet 10 that has Tracy on the video monitor, and I set it down where I'm going to be working, but then I walk away and I don't realize I haven't watched Tracy for 20 minutes. Oh my God. And I come running back. So, I mean, it's not very good for me to do that. So I would much rather have somebody that needs a place to stay, that is a non-smoker, because I just can't deal with all that smell. And, you know, I can go from there, but I'm not letting no more couples, no more friends, no more none of that crap move in. It's just, I'm done.
Guess so.
Hayden says, that's so good. That makes me feel happy. Thanks for letting us know, Rich. Oh, okay. I don't know what you're referring to, but okay. Thank you.
He's the one that asked about the paddlefish.
Oh, gotcha.
Thanks for responding.
Oh, okay. I can see up here.
Yeah.
He's the one that asked about the paddlefish for sure. Bill Star says, I'm so good. I'm glad I have a chance.
That's not just
If
chuckling.
you're a non-smoker and you're a woman, you have a chance of living here free of rent as long as you help me either take care of Tracy or help me with the fish room, something, you know. Barb Stevens says, check their arms for track marks. I'd be very careful who you let in there now. Hepatitis, I'd be scared. Used needles laying around. We didn't find no used needles in their thing, but we saw evidence that they were definitely doing needle drugs, you know. Oh, Raheem says, is the basement kids room complete? That will be, I think that was on today's video. We finished the flooring.
Yeah.
And then today we finished we put the flooring trim back up and the whole room's done. We started bringing in toys and cleaning out the outside. That's today's video, which will be, I guess, Monday. So yeah, it's ready. It's ready to go.
Camel Down says, happy Valentine's Day, Brittany. I love you.
Who's Brittany? Hopefully it's Camel Dan's wife. Thank you, Camel Dan, for the $1.99. And Brittany, there you go. You're a lucky man or woman. You got Camel Dan.
Sometimes it feels strange to be the messenger.
Yeah, it does. Airtime. This don't make sense to me. I had to give back all their money. They have all the rights to do what they want to do. I don't know what that means.
Don't hook that up with a comment, so it got me.
I'm going back a little bit here. I don't see nothing. And that's as far as I'm going.
Side conversation.
Felix Kabibble says, and anybody who identifies as a female? No, absolutely not. You were born with a dick, you're a male. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. If you weren't born with a dick, you're a female. And that's the way it's going to be. I don't care what you feel like. You're not going to be in the bathroom of a female if you're a male and I have a daughter or a granddaughter in there. Absolutely not. I don't care what you feel like. That's on you. That's not going to, invade into my granddaughter's life, period. And if you don't like it, you're more than welcome to show up here and try and whoop my ass. Ronaldo says, yes, Rich, agreed. Common sense. The Vasquez family says, that's right, Big Rich. I mean, it's just very simple. You can pretend to be who you want, but you can't force me to call you what you want to believe that you are. It makes no sense to me. If Jerry identifies as a schnauzer, I'm not going to be like, come here, little puppy, come here. I'm not going to do it. That's his belief, and it's stupid to me. He is an old man, and that's all he'll ever be.
Video on YouTube where the guy said, I identify as a cat. The cop said, well, we need to take you to the train and have you spayed and neutered.
Oh, shit.
Cop turned it on him, just beautiful. Cop asked him for ID, and he said, I identify
Hayden
as
says,
a
Rich
cat.
speaking the truth. Tim Tyrone says, well said, Big Rich. Who wants their daughter or their granddaughter in a room with some guy that believes he's a girl, whipping out his thing and pissing in front of them? They didn't go to that bathroom to see this. I don't know. It just the stupidity of people today is embarrassing. Tim Tyrone says Jerry's the eighth dwarf. We've got sleepy, grumpy, dopey. All these. And what are you? Pissed off dwarf? Airtime says, I find it more offensive when somebody asks, what do you identify as? That shouldn't even be a question. If you look like a dude, you're a dude. He goes, I'm a dude. I look like a dude. Monkey
Yeah.
6690 says that's right, Rich.
What you see is what you get, man.
You know, how
Don't
can
worry about
okay, here's the whole thing. And same thing with the halftime show. I put out a simple thing on my Facebook saying worst halftime show ever. And I got bombarded with people calling me a racist. And I'm like, wait a minute. I tried defending myself first. And it was so many people. It was crazy. I'm like, I didn't say I don't like Puerto Ricans. I didn't say I don't like blacks. I don't say I don't like Chinese. I said I don't like the Super Bowl. That's my opinion. You know, the Super Bowl halftime sucked for me to watch. It sucked. I didn't like it. And everyone accused me.
I didn't like the show no matter who was doing it.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It was just like, it was a horrible show. And, you know, I got some guy not speaking English, grabbing his crotch. You know, God knows what he's actually saying. And this was not, I didn't want to watch that. I loved the halftime shows because all the best Budweiser commercials, all the best commercials in the world come out. And once a year, you get to see these great commercials, right? And no, I had to turn that and go over to another halftime show that was way better. And it was awesome, but I didn't get to see no commercials, you know? So, I don't know. The point was, you know, people, okay, like, look at this dude. He burned the American flag. He hates America. And then he wants to show up and give us a middle finger. Like the whole 900 million people that are here doesn't matter because the 40 million people that speak Spanish are going to get, you know, catered after. You know, this is a game. This is a show. Once a year, this happens. And, you know, it's a unifying American football game. And why do we have to listen to a halftime in Spanish? Now, I'm not putting down Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Spanish, nothing. The rest of the United States does not speak Spanish, you know? And that's all there is to it. That's all I said. You know, it was the worst halftime show ever. And everybody I had to take it down. I had to remove my thought process because everybody else was offended. Jesus Christ, you know what? People should show up. I don't like you. We'll say that to my face. And then let's whoop some ass and see who wins. You know, you might not like me less later. But you don't have the right to put me down on the internet and this and that and say that I'm not there for your political correctness and all that bullshit. I mean, it's just stupid. So, you know, I have a right as an American to watch the football show, which I'm not even really into football. I really get into the halftime shows. You know, Michael Jackson, Metallica, they were great shows. And then they were great commercials. I couldn't wait to see them. And now this thing here, you got this guy, you know, singing in Spanish and grabbing his dick. And it wasn't a good time. So I said that, and now all of a sudden I'm a racist? I'm not a racist. I didn't say I don't like Puerto Ricans. I didn't say I don't like Mexicans. I didn't say I don't like blacks. You know, I said I don't. This was the worst halftime show ever, and I'm entitled to just like the person that thinks they're female and they're male, you know, and they think they're female. They're entitled to their opinion, but you can't go and hang out in the girls' bathroom because of your opinion. You still have a fucking dong. And I don't want my grandkids or my daughters seeing this against their will. You know what I'm saying? You want to pretend you're a girl? That's fine. That's on you. I don't care. As long as you don't force it on me and my family. You can go to the man's John and, you know, blah, blah, blah. You can come out and act like a female all you want. I don't give a shit. Period. But when you go into the female's bathroom and you pull out your dong, and this and that, you know, now I have a problem with you. Now, you're probably going to get your ass beat if I catch you. I mean, it says something.
Contrast New York says, I love the old Budweiser commercials with the Clydesdales.
Oh, yeah. And then even before that, you had the three frogs. Bud, Wise, Yeah. That was a great commercial, you know. The Clydesdales were phenomenal commercials. There was always, you couldn't wait till the Super Bowl to see these new commercials.
You see that Bud Light commercial when they're all chasing a keg down the hill?
No, I didn't see
They
it.
turned all the stars into Clydesdales.
Really?
Yeah, they're all heading down there chasing after
Oh,
this.
the Clydesdales were chasing the keg?
No, the people,
Okay.
the stars, of the commercial.
I thought you
Bud
meant
Light
stars.
commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they had
Like well-known celebrities.
all the celebrities were at this party, and this guy's delivering a keg, and he drops it, and it goes rolling down the hill. Every celebrity at the party goes diving down the hill chasing it. Hilarious. It's like a herd of Clydesdales.
Hayden says, yes, preach it, Big Rich. You can be who you want. I don't care. But if my little girl is in there and you are a woman, man, you are done for sure. I mean, that just makes sense. You're not only projecting it, and believing it yourself. Now you're projecting onto other people. Good God-fearing people that will not let this happen. I don't know. Barb Stevens says, dong. Love it. I said dong. Jason Hunt says, real men of genius. I like it. The Scotter Huskies, one says, the halftime show stopped being good since the mother of all wardrobe malfunction happened. Shit, that was like 12, 15 years ago. Prince Vino says, if I separated my young fish when they were small, will they recognize each other a year later when they are back in the same tank?
I don't know.
I can't answer that. I don't know. I haven't done, statistics on that. I haven't done, projects on that. I couldn't tell you.
It depends on what kind of fish they are.
Sue Ann says, look at those guns. Weight update. I've lost another 2 pounds. Well, you got to understand. The last week and a half, I've actually ate. And I gained like 6 pounds back. And it's taken me the last 3 days without eating to get back down. Now I'm back down to 269. So I'm a pound above where I was yesterday. And then today I'm 2 pounds less. So I'm a pound under 268. So I'm back to losing weight again. And I am working out every day. So my son brought me over a bunch of these, barbells, and I'm doing, dumbbells. I'm doing these things where I spread my back and trying to get the shoulders, the neck, and the arms bigger to where my stomach looks smaller and my whole top side looks bigger, And, it's working slowly, but it is working. Ooh, Barb Stevens says, my baby axolotl has air bubble in his belly and he's only a half inch long. What should I do? Let him go or what? You don't want to have surgery on a baby. I would let him go and hopefully he shits out an air bubble. You'll see a little bubble come out and he'll be better. If he's floating, here's the problem. The skin that's out of the water will get a secondary infection. Okay, because it's drying out and it's not doing its job, which the slime coat on any fish does its job by keeping all kinds of protozoans off of his skin, all this kind of stuff, even ick. They have a breakout in ick and it tries to dig into the slime layer. And if it gets skin, it can reach under the skin and grow a tail out. Many other, medicines, or I'm sorry, problems have the same thing, So if there's a big enough slime coat, they're fine. They do well. But having their body sticking out of the water, their slime coat dries up, and then their water, gets it wet every once in a while. But they actually get a secondary infection, a bacterial infection, and then they die from that. So you got to watch. If the baby's okay, I'd rather leave him alone and let him try and float. But if he's hanging under and he's staying, on a plant or something, he's not floating to the top, I would leave him alone. You got any insights on this? Everything I said was good and moral.
Nothing to argue with.
Nothing to argue with. Okay. Richard says, can you say happy Valentine's Day to my partner, Mandy, who loves watching you each week, who I dragged to see the doctor last week, and when she went back to the doctors this week, found she needs surgery. Mandy, we're sorry about that, but here's your shout out. Hi, Mandy. From Big Rich and Jerry. Say hi. There you go. He raised this token machine to you. Camel Dan says, I identify as a fish. Can I come live there? As long as you don't try having sex with any of my fish. We're good.
Stay away from my lady friends out there.
All right, sorry guys, I didn't mean this to be so political and this and that and my beliefs and all that blah blah blah. You know, I just, here's the thing, I don't care what any person does with their life. That's on them. But when you force it into my life and my children and my grandkids, we're going to have a problem. It is not the rest of the world's business to believe what you believe in yourself. If you want to say you're an octopus, that's fine. Live your life as an octopus. I don't care. But don't force the rest of the world to think that you're an octopus and it's okay to go, you know, and do this and that. That's all. You know, no big deal.
About a gay fish.
A gay fish likes fish sticks.
Uh,
No, that's
an old nasty joke. Yeah.
No, it's from Cartman and what's the name of the show? Cartman you saw and Jay, or was it Jay-Z?
I don't know.
I don't remember, but you know, he was like, do you like fish sticks? And he's like, yeah, I like fish sticks. Then you're a gay fish. And he's like, no, I'm not a gay fish. You know, and he threw a fit.
Y'all remember those discus we had in the planted tank when it was over in the corner?
South Park, thank you guys. And it was
Okay.
R. Kelly, yeah.
Those discus, there was 2 females in there that were laying eggs together all the time. And I didn't realize it. I
How
thought
could you not
somebody was
realize
laying, because there's eggs on the same place. Okay, I know they're laying eggs. I see the eggs, but I didn't realize it was 2 females both laying eggs.
Oh, you thought it was just
No
one?
male. And they would not let a male anywhere near the nest. There was 2
So
female
they can start the
discus.
cycle all over again.
What?
They're not enriching the eggs, and they can start over again and lay more eggs.
But they won't let a male fertilize.
Right. So let them live their life the way they want. They're not showing up in the you know,
Excuse me,
man's,
they asked about gay fish, and I had.
they're not showing up in the male's, you know, fish room, whipping out their dong. It's okay. I still have the discus. Why are you saying miss them?
No, they don't.
Yeah, I have like 3 in the front tank.
Nope.
Yes, I
No
do.
discus out there at all.
No way.
They've been gone for a long time.
Why?
They're all old, and
They were big. They were big.
Yeah, the one young male, the 2 females killed him.
Really?
Yeah, when he still got big
I'm
enough.
not told about this shit.
Don't ask me. You probably were at the time. It's been a while, Rich.
I wasn't.
I don't know. Every time-
You handle stuff and you think everybody knows it.
No, it wasn't just me.
Oh, somebody's at the front door.
It's probably the nurse.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Is it?
I don't know.
7 o'clock. She's usually here. Probably.
Yeah, she's here at 7, yeah. 7 to 11.
That's just what I wanted to be known for.
Oh, yeah. TJ accused me of giving her too much GHB and killing her. Listen, GHB don't work like that. If you give somebody 4 centimeters of GHB, which is 1 syringe, they sleep for 6 hours. You give them 2 syringes, they sleep for 16 hours. You give them 3 syringes, they sleep for 24 hours. It is not nothing that will overdose you. And Tracy wasn't on GHB since like 20 years ago. I don't know what he's talking about. You know, he's a piece of shit. I will beat the shit out of DJ if I ever catch him. Okay, Airtime says, I've been on this live for a long time since Josh was on the lives. What's happened to Skylar? Not seen her in ages. She moved back in with her mother and was doing good. She actually just recently had to leave her mother's house and go move in with her father because I guess she got COVID. She's really sick this whole week, and her mother couldn't afford that, being that she runs a business and all this stuff. So her mother made her move into it with her father, and that's what's going on now. She texted me this morning and said she feels like shit. She's feels horrible. I actually sent her a thing of chocolates for tomorrow, Valentine's Day. I sent her a heart with it was like $12. And I sent it to her, and just, I know you don't have nobody. This is, thinking of you on Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day. So, but I sent it to her mother's house, and that's when I found out that she wasn't at her mother's house. She's at her dad's house. So, Ronaldo says, Rich, do you have any saltwater tanks left? Yes. The 3 tanks up against the back of the pool, the one all the way to the right is our saltwater holding tank for when we get fish and then we have to find homes for. We can have them for a couple days and find them homes, So we still have that. What did Jerry get Skylar for Valentine's Day? What'd you get her, Jerry?
Didn't even think about her. She's a ghost. Doesn't exist.
Sebastian says, where's my chocolates? Well, you're not like an immediate family here that was living here. I still treat Skylar with, dignity and niceness. Even though she was very mean to me and I had to make her, I told her, I didn't make her leave. I told her, if you don't treat me better, you're going to have to move out. And she chose to move out. So that's on her. Prince Vino says, do wild fish live longer than tank raised? I asked because my buddy caught a baby knifefish in the canal down the street and wants to keep it. You want to answer that?
People don't like my answer to that.
I believe that wild caught fish will live longer in the wild than captive bred fish. There is a reason for that because, captive bred, and they're here, and then they live within this bubble of pH, water salinity, all this stuff. Where in natural, they can go to where they feel the best. If it's halfway between a saltwater and a freshwater leaking in the salt, they can live there, and that's where they feel the best. They live the longest. Others, ponds or whatever, I just feel they live longer in nature. You haven't seen anybody with a 16-foot arapaima, but in nature, they used to be around all the time. Now the biggest they see on record is like 12, 13 foot. And then the biggest you see in captivity is 7, 8 foot. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, in the wild, fish live until something kills them. In captivity, nothing changes. They live until something kills them.
Hayden says, seeing an arapaima in the pool pond fills my heart again. I'm so glad to see another baby Brutus in the pool. It completes the pond. That's amazing. And I didn't even mean to name him, but I was like, hey, what's up, Bubba? How you doing? And someone goes, is Bubba his name? I'm like, no, we haven't named him yet. But Bubba seems to fit. So Brutus is gone. We got Bubba now. And it's still along the same lines, So Bubba's in there, and we've got 6 more to go in a couple of months. We took him out of the 4400, put him in the pond, and then we took all 6 out of the 2200 and put them into the 4500. And they're doing a growth spurt right now. And next thing you know, we're going to put the rest of them in there. Now, are we going to be able to come up with names for all 6 of them starting with B's? That ain't going to be Brutus or Buster. You know what I'm saying? So we got to come up with a bunch of names for these fish.
I'm just going to have to call them the bees.
Tyler Kerr says, we call my son Bubba. That's his nickname. Bellstar says, Belle, if we have a female arapaima, of course, we can call her Belle for sure.
How would you know?
Buster, that's good.
Until that.
Beefcake. Bodacious. No, that's your name. You're Bodacious Bob. At least you were on Thanksgiving or Halloween. You don't like it. You don't like it. I introduced him. I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm Big Rich, and this is our special guest tonight, Bodacious Bob. And he looked at me like, what the fuck? Bruiser, that was one of ours already. Yes, Tyler Kerr says, I thought it was Beefcake Bob. Yes. You are Beefcake Bob, Jerry. You know, start doing some posing.
No.
Oh, shit. But yeah, Skylar's doing fine. She's a little sick. She's got 3 jobs. She's working all the time. She said she did start that dating thing profile, but she hasn't gone out with anybody. She hasn't dated anybody. She's just too busy working, and now she's sick. So, you know, that's just how it is. She was very nice to me earlier. She was very sweet. You know, she was just like, oh my God, I'm so sick. You know, I talked to her all morning long. She's still in the family, you know. I didn't understand why she treated me mean, but you know, she's not living here no more, and we can get along just fine. Oh, hi. You've been here for a few minutes, right? Okay, that was her coming in the door.
I know.
Okay, she's doing really well. Her numbers are great. Yeah, she's doing good. So thank you. This is our evening nurse showed up. Barb Stevens says, can I get a Valentine shout out to Jason Barr? Will you be my Valentine? Jason, it looks like Barb wants you. I'm just saying. She wants to be your Valentine, bro. Bomber's a good name in contrast to New York. Beetlejuice says, do you have any gay fish? Last gay fish I knew was named Jerry. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't hit me. He's old, he's feeble, but he can still swing, okay?
I don't even know where you're coming with that because I don't see it on the list. You must be making shit up.
Did not. Tyler Kerr says, I noticed Jerry gets a lot of shit, but he does a lot of good shit. Here's to Jerry. There you go.
Thank you.
There's to you.
I need to go warm up my coffee.
Airtime says she loved you. That's why she treated you mean. Okay. Felix Kabibble says, when I grow up, I want to be Jerry. Tyler Kerr says, at least it's better than Crypt Keeper, calling him, what do we call, just call him Beefcake Bob. Crypt Keeper fits so well, though. Camel Dan says, we don't speak with Skylar on this chat ever. Well, that was the beginning of it. She was just so mean. Even her brother was like, I don't know why she treats you so mean, but things have calmed down over the years. She's doing her thing. She's making good money now. She makes 50 grand at the one place. She works at two other computer places, so she's always working. So, but she has no time to now enjoy her life and have fun. So, you go from one extreme to another. Certainly says, how is Herbie's shell? It's actually, it's closing up. It's doing good. It had a bunch of them bubbles on it, and Josh, started removing the bubble, and then it opened up to a shell, and all the skin peeled off, and then the shell had to reharden, and the skin has to regrow back with no bubbles, and it's taken a long time, but it's them spots on his back are way smaller, and there's no bubbles on his back. It's closing in. It's doing great. Raheem says, is Reaper going to Michigan? Yes, he is going up this Saturday to Michigan. Tyler Kerr says, Richie shouldn't be so mean to Jerry. You love him like an older brother. Don't lie. By the way, is Jerry okay? He seems a bit off tonight. I just worry. I know it sounds dumb. No, Jerry's just don't drink, so he's always like, normal, and and us drinking around him kind of aggravates him. That type thing, you know what I'm saying? You got to live with it. It's okay. Sue Ann says, what tank is Hubert in? He is in the 2200. And we're going to swap Hubert with Hubie and put the bigger one into the 2200 and put Hubert into the touch tank, because he is the one we use for, swimming and doing the videos. And he is the one that, does great with the other fish and stuff. Plus, he's a lot smaller, and that tank isn't that big. That's only 650 gallons. Crazy Cichlid says, hi, Rich. Are the ceiling tiles in your house not a fire hazard? Don't know what you're talking about. There's only one room that has two rooms that have ceiling tiles. One is the dining room, and them are all new. So I don't believe them are fire hazard. And then the other room is the room that me and the kids have just built for Alora. We painted the walls with 2 coats of primer. We painted the walls with 1 coat of semi-gloss. Then we put on the trim back on the floor today and pounded that back in. We got to paint over that. It has some ceiling tiles from like the 1960s. And I don't know if they're good or not. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Beetle just says, what is your favorite fish? Oh, it has to be, the arapaima. And then after that, the GATF, the Goliath, the African tigerfish. After that, the paraiba. After that, the goonch. Basically, all the man-eaters on the planet. Big Time says, how's the paddlefish? They're all doing great. We are looking to upgrade them to a bigger, wider tank, because in this 3-foot wide tank by 12 foot, their rostrums are getting all banged up, where they keep hitting the glass and then turning. So I want them in a bigger tank to where that don't happen. Come summertime, we can put them in the pond outside. But right now, I need to find a bigger tank for them. Tyler Kerr says, Big Rich did a video about his favorite fish with Reaper about a month and a half ago. Yep. Toompi says the jow. I love my jow catfish. I got 2 of them in the pond now, or the pool pond. Oh. You okay?
Yeah.
Manny Davis says, Rich, your house always looks lovely. Rich, it looks amazing. See now, if you would look back, okay, over the years and say, here is a bachelor living at a house, and you look at how neat and organized it is, you'd be like, holy shit. I mean, Jerry will tell you, I am a neat freak. I mean, the whole time Skylar lived here, every room she went in, I had to go behind her and clean up. And, you know, I'm not saying I don't like Skylar. I adored Skylar, but she wasn't on my level of cleanliness in a house, you know. So she'd come in and she'd set a bunch of stuff down, and I'd have to come behind her and clean up after her. And I'd do the same thing to Jerry every once in a while. He's like, Rich, I haven't got to it yet. I just set that down there. Right?
Pretty much.
He walks in and he sets something down, and then he goes over to the microwave, and then he opens the fridge and he gets some food out. And he gets some pans out, and I'm putting his coffee cup away over here. It's like, damn it, Rich, I just set that down there. So, just because other people aren't on your level of cleanliness, don't make them bad people at all, you know. Monster Fishing says, but do you like the African arowana? I love the African arowana. I can't wait for mine to get big. Summerly says, I always try to find both chow and the monster pine when it's shown. I never find them. You know what? There was a time when I had almost a 7-foot arapaima in there, and I'd go in there looking, but I couldn't find them. How can you lose a 7-foot arapaima? And we did constantly. Oh, there he is, 20 minutes later. Bob Taylor says, just wondering, in the steel tank with the divider, why so much more algae on the left side? Please tell me that it's algae. Okay. Yes, it's algae. On the left side, let's say the tank's this wide. On the left side, there's a light right above the left side. On the right side, it's all the way past the tank and on the end of the tank. Okay. I removed both bright LEDs and put in dimmer lights, and now we don't have the problem as much. But we added on lighting to that tank. We need like a pleco on each side, to eat up that, like the Adonis pleco. I'd love to have like 7 or 10 of those to let them grow out, But they do eat the algae. And same thing with Siamese algae eaters, but on a small, level. So, I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Tyler Kerr says, how's Jerry and Rich doing this week? I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Okay.
Yeah, right?
I'm here.
He said, I'm here, still alive. Still pissing off Rich. Did I just say that out loud?
You've been saying it all evening.
Oh, you stop it. Now you're pushing it farther. I have no problems with you, Jerry. You're good people. Greg guy says, when's the glass for the other steel tank coming? Well, it's warming up. So in the next couple of weeks, we're definitely going to finish that because Josh wants to finish that tank. That's why we did the whole background wall tonight. We glued it on, and that will be Monday's video. So now by Monday, it'll be connected and solid and cured. So the tank has gotten further done because we want that window on before we tear up the sump. The sump is it's just atrocious. There's rust everywhere in that sump. So Beetlejuice says, do you ever swim in the indoor pond? All the time. Josh was in there tonight. I was in there 2 days ago. I got to finish my video by going back in there. Of course.
Usually it's to work on something, not for a pleasant swim.
Yeah.
We don't really go swimming in there.
Tyler Kerr says, Jerry, you know you love Rich like a brother. He's got to give you shit. Like my family always says, if we don't give you shit, it means we don't like love you. And I get shit all the time from everyone. So the more shit I give you, the more I care about you. Can we go with that? No, Jerry. This sounds fun to me. He says no, guys.
Showed up for the algorithm, stayed for the angry old man.
The great guy says, is the sump going to need sandblasting? For sure.
If it was only that easy.
Right. We're going to have to do muriatic acid and a bunch of other stuff.
It's
We're
going
going to have to
be
primer it. Then we're going to have to paint it. I mean, it's going to be a big
It's
job.
going to have to be hand finished. There's only one way to do it.
J Rod says, Ohio Fish Rescue. My fish pond is half frozen, but I have water pump running right now, but haven't seen any fish in a little while. Just hope they haven't lost fish. You know what? Here's the thing. In your pond, I don't care if it's 2 foot or 5 foot deep, forget about your fish. Come springtime, you're going to be like amazed that they're all there. I have, I don't know, 20 fish in the front pond. It's only 2 foot deep. And I have the back pond is 4.5 foot deep. And we have like 130 koi in there. And we never lose any over the winter. We don't feed them. Once the water reaches 55 degrees, we stop feeding them. And they go into a like semi-neutralized state called torpor. And they do not eat because if you would feed them after 55 degrees, that food would sit in their stomach and then rot and then cause infections and all this other stuff. So as soon as your water comes back up to 55 degrees, you can start feeding them in the springtime. Airtime says, why don't you put the goonch in the monster pond? We just did. We got the 3-footer in there. We have 2 albinos about 2 foot, and we have a regular about 1 foot. They can't go in there. They're too small yet. But the 3-footer just went into the pond. Aqua Drew says, what will replace the sump while it's being repaired? We have a 6x10 pool that we're going to set up next to there, put the wet dry filters in there, run the PVC pipe over to it, and then run our 10,000 gallon per hour pump up to the 4,400 through that, and all the other pumps run into all the other tanks through that. So our sump will be empty, but it will continue to keep our bacteria alive and run. Babito says, greetings from Puerto Rico, stay fishy. See, there's a person that don't think I'm racist. So Sal Norton says, I would watch how you talk to Jerry. We all know his past and what he's capable of doing. We love Jerry. The Big Rich is just awesome. Stay fishy, my friends. What are they talking about?
I don't know.
You've been talking behind my back, son?
No.
No, I know. Okay. Wait, Summerly, where did you find that? I thought he just made the messages to me. Where did you see that message at? Where he's accusing me of killing Tracy, which is ridiculous. He goes, how much GHB did you give her when she got out of the hospital? And that was from Stephanie.
Where are you getting all that?
Somebody sent it straight to me. So this is what DJ and Stephanie was saying last week. I blocked them from the channel. It's hard for me to read this. DJ says, I got all that GHB in the channel. See, Tracy hasn't been on GHB in like 20 years. You know, I don't know what he's talking about. You know, he's a piece of shit. I don't know. But I tell you what, if I catch either one of them, I'm beating their ass. They're pieces of shit. I wish.
It just shows how miserable he is.
Yeah. I wish the fuck that I never helped him out. I am better off of not helping him out than I am helping him out. He is that kind of piece of shit. Suanne says they were removed many times last week.
Didn't catch it.
Oh, Summer Lee says he said that on last Friday's live stream. See, I didn't see that. And then I didn't get a hold of it until Saturday, the next day, when I saw all the messages to me. He's a piece of shit. You know, I've known the dude for 30 years, never let him live with me before, but always helped him out. Always under the, bro, if you do this, I'll never, ever ask you for anything again. And he keeps asking for more and more and more and more. And he got mad that I wouldn't take care of him no more. You know, I'm not your father. I don't need to take care of you. You know, I gave you a place. You sat for a week or two. It turned into 5 months. Get up off your lazy ass and get out there and find a place to live. Period.
Yeah, but look at it honestly, what it's actually doing to him. He's miserable and he keeps getting more miserable all the time, and it's his own doing.
Right.
So let him wallow in it. He ain't hurting nobody but himself.
Third drink, guys. Third drink. I emptied the first two. Look at that. Oh, look. I love this cup. Look at this. There's fish. It's right through my body. I like it. I'm going to pour all this into my cup. There we go. Look at that. Right through my face.
His green screen cup.
I like it. Right through my chest. Look at that. Suanne says they were removed many times last week. You know what? I removed them the next day. They're just pieces of shit. I mean, I helped them out for 5 months, and then the moment I couldn't help them out no more, because you made me choose between my granddaughter and you. Who's going to win there? My granddaughter, of course. So the moment you make me choose between your friendship and my granddaughter, I'm choose my granddaughter. Now you hate me. Now you want to say mean and evil things. You know what I'm saying? Up until then, he was like, I can't believe you spent so many hours a week, you know, taking care of Tracy and this and that. And now he accuses me of killing Tracy? What a piece of shit. I mean, if I ever catch him, I am beating his ass. Fucking period. You know, one of those things where, you know, I warned you. I told you. I fucking told you. I'm a nice guy. You don't listen. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I'd bother. I think he'd enjoy it too much.
He'd be setting me up for suing me and all this other shit.
You can't do shit like that without getting some kind of a jolly out of it. He's masochistic, just likes the pain, or what?
Buck Cherry says, how come you've been accused of killing Tracy? It's crazy if you did that. What the fuck? You know what? When Tracy died, it was a cardiac arrest.
Man's delusional.
Right. The hospital took blood. If there was GHB in her blood, they would have seen that. Which GHB doesn't kill you. It doesn't make you overdose at all. The more GHB you take, the more you sleep. That's all. And Tracy was on GHB many years ago because of her narcolepsy. And the whole theory was if you sleep and get knocked the shit out, and then you'll be awake, more awake during the daytime tomorrow. So she took this GHB for like, I don't know, 2 years, and she slept at nighttime constantly. There was no waking her up. You know what I'm saying? This is why people use it for the date rape drug, because there's no waking them up. You can do whatever you want to a woman, and she won't remember it. But now it's all sedated with like salt. I mean, if somebody adds something to your drink, you're going to taste the saltiness. And Tracy couldn't get past the whole, she had to put 4 cc's in a syringe and then drink that, and she'd sleep for 8 hours. If she put, double that, like say 8 cc's, she would sleep for 16 hours. You know what I'm saying? You don't die from overdosing GHB. You just sleep longer. And she stopped taking that because she hated the taste of it because it was all salty. And, now he wants to accuse me of this kind of stuff. I mean, what a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. He's mad at me because I wouldn't keep taking care of him. I'm not his father. I wouldn't keep taking care of him. I haven't seen my granddaughter in 3 months because you won't leave. And I held him up to his promise. He's leaving on the 1st. And he come in to me, just 1 more month, bro. No, fuck you. You're out. I'm not, I don't have no place to go. That's a you problem, not a me problem. My problem is I can't see my granddaughter because you're here. Boom. And then they ended up leaving. And I had my granddaughter, my grandson over that whole day, that next day. It was amazing. So, yeah. Fuck him. Piece of shit. Graham Chapman says, people like that are take. Yeah, nonstop. Big Junior Chandler says, we don't believe in Big Rich. If anything, she's alive because of all the care and love you give her. Of course. If there was something like she was overdosed with GHB, the whole point was the first time she was taken to the hospital, they wanted to release her. And I was like, no, she's got like, have you ever seen a puppy with parvo? Has no energy. If you pick them up, they'll shit all over. And that's the way Tracy was. Had no energy whatsoever. And this was right before COVID hit. It turns out me and Tracy had COVID before COVID. We didn't know. But it was so weak. We couldn't even, walk to the bathroom. We had to crawl to the bathroom. It was bad. So, I got better after 2 weeks. Tracy didn't. We took her to the hospital, and they said she has an upper respiratory infection. Send her home. And I'm like, no. It turned out later that she had an esophagus tear from coughing so much, from being sick. She ripped her esophagus open, and she was bleeding internally into her belly. Now, because she was puking so much, she stopped adhering to her, and this is all, looking back. If we'd have seen this in the future, we could have prevented it. But this is looking back. She was puking so much because she was sick. And I didn't take her. I took her to the bathroom. I'd set her in front of the toilet, and I'd close the door, and I'd let her puke and this and that. She'd come out, and she'd be like, I puked my brains out. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. she wasn't getting her narcolepsy medicine, which made her go delusional. The video I've got the day that she died, she goes, and I can play it right now. She goes, "Thank you for taking such good care of me." And I'm like, "Oh, it's okay taking care of you. Don't worry about that, honey. Are you feeling any better?" And she goes, "A lot better than I felt before." Okay. We did not know she was down like 5 quarts of blood. Okay. And she was puking it out. Well, here's the thing. I asked her, "What's my name?" Right? And she goes, "Richard." I'm like, "Oh, okay. So you know my name. Yesterday you didn't know my name. You're coming out of it. Much better." Okay. And then, she coughed and black stuff was on her hands. And it looked like ground up coffee grounds. So I called the hospital back. I'm like, "She's coughing up this black stuff out of her, lungs." And I thought it was lungs. It was her belly, but whatever. And they go, "Oh, she's bleeding internally. Get her in here." So I get her up out of bed and I want to take her to the hospital. And she's like, "No," because she had puked earlier and all over her arm and, this and that. And I'd wiped it off and cleaned it up and this and that. She wanted to take a shower. Well, during that shower, she was sitting in her shower chair. She was sitting up. She had so low blood on her. All of her blood was in her legs and not in her top half. To where I finished washing her and I took the I guess a dog thing, the sprayer that would spray, and I hooked it back on the thing and she leaned against my back and she took the longest breath out I've ever heard. She was just like, and her weight just kept pushing on me. And I'm like, "Tracy, what the hell?" And she was gone. She was done. She had died. I bear hugged her, picked up. I picked her up out of the shower. And I took her over to my bed. It's like 5 foot away. And I started doing CPR. And the first push I did, all this black shit came out of her mouth. So I pulled her shoulder towards me and I pushed on her solar plexus and she puked out like 2 coffee cups full of black coffee grounds, nastiness, blood. And then I was able to start doing compressions. And I called 911, put it on speakerphone, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing. I'm doing compressions. I know I watched South Park where you do 30 compressions and 2 breaths of air. And I'm doing this. And the lady on the phone, she's like, "Sir, are you a certified CPR technician?" I'm like, "No, my fucking wife's dying. Leave me alone. I'm trying to do compressions." And finally the medics show up and I'm doing this and she's got all this black stuff out of her mouth and I've got it on my mustache. And I didn't know this. So I saw in the cameras that the medic showed up. So I picked her up and I carry her outside. She's lifeless. I carry her outside and the medic said, "Put her down on the ground." And then I put her down on the ground and the guy looked at me and he was like this, and I'm like, "What?" I didn't know, but I had all this black blood shit all in my face from giving her breaths where she was puking that shit out, And they put this machine on her. It was like, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're going to kill her." And they're like, "Yeah, we break ribs all the time." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And they're like, "Yeah, but that's what," and they got her a heartbeat back. So she goes to the hospital and they revived her. Everything was good. And everything that I did was as best as I could do. I didn't know that being on my bed, this is what the doctors told me later, was not as good as if I had gave her CPR on the floor. I'm like, no one taught me that. No one knows that. Who the hell, And they said also if I would have lifted her legs up, all the blood in her legs would have rushed to the rest of her body, and I should have gave her CPR like that. I don't know this. I'm not a doctor, So I get her to the hospital, and they say that the Dr. Kumar come in there, and he says she's brain dead, she's gone. There's no blah blah blah, and he had me and all three of my kids and their wives all cry. The whole room was blubbering. Fuck. Another doctor comes in after he leaves, and he goes, "Listen, she might have a swollen brain because of the lack of oxygen." And he gave us a little bit of hope. He goes, "Let's wait till next Friday, and if there's still no brain activity, we can pull the plug then." And he gave us hope. And by next Friday, she was on 8 machines, and she had worked off of all 8 of those machines. She was only on a breathing machine, which did and it would force air into her lungs, down her throat. And they wouldn't take that off until she was conscious again. So, that's how that happened. And then, later on, they did all these blood works and labs and all this, trying to figure out what happened to her. And she was so low on blood, she had been puking it out because she had ripped her esophagus. And what's the name of the hospital?
I have no idea.
Not Community Surgical. Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland Clinic missed that when Stephanie took her down there. They just said she had upper respiratory infection. They didn't see that she was bleeding internally into her stomach. So the next week comes up and she's off of everything except for the breathing machine, and they won't take her off that until she's aware. And they let her come home with me, and no, they let her go to the nursing home from there, because after 28 days, community or Medicare don't cover a hospital stay. So 28 days in the hospital, then she had to go to a nursing home. And then, that's when things started getting bad. She was getting bed sores all the time and this and that. And COVID came in full strong. I wasn't allowed to visit and all this stuff. And, after a while, one of the nurses says that the husband comes in here and reads to her every day. And that got back to Medicaid. Well, Medicaid kicked us off of Medicaid because I make too much money for her to be on Medicaid. But I had to tell them that's my ex-wife. She's on her own, Social Security disability, period. I had to send in a divorce paper and all this to get her back on. Well, while she was kicked off, the nursing home calls me and says, Mr. Price, we think that the best thing for Tracy is to come home and be with loved ones and under her own care. And I was like, okay. And they go, if you're willing to put on a gown, a face shield, a mask, and come in here, we can train you. And I'm like, why? I've been trying to get you guys to train me to take her home forever. And they're like, well, now we just decided that we think it's best for her. So I trained 12 hours one day. I had to change her trach twice. I had to change her diaper like 6 times. I did everything. They said that no other male has ever passed in one, training before. That, a few females have, but no male. And I'm like, it's all easy stuff. If you care about the person, you want to change them. You don't look at it like, I don't want to change her. You just, oh, honey, you shouldn't be. You're wet. Let me change you. You know what I'm saying? You care. And it's very simple. So then the day she was supposed to come home, Friday that week, I got her, in the meantime, I got her back onto Medicaid. Showed in the divorce papers, all that stuff. And then I get a call Thursday night saying, well, Mr. Price, we talked it over. We decided that the best place for Tracy is to stay here. I'm like, you're out your goddamn cotton picking mind. I will call the police. I will show up with the police tomorrow. I did your training. I did everything. Blah, blah. Don't think I don't know that because I got, Medicare back involved that you're just wanting the money. Fuck you guys. And I showed up with the police the next day and I got her released to me. And you know what? In 5 years she's been home, she's never had one bed sore. Not one. She has never gone to the hospital with septic, which she did twice from Avon Place. And, you know, it's just, well, fuck them people. They're all about the money. They don't give two shits. And that's why I tell everybody, if you care about somebody in your life, like you guys care about your children, you would take care of them. It's not a question. It's not a thing. Would you take care? No, of course I would, because that's my family. Well, Tracy's my family, and I take care of her. I care about her. I love her, you know, and you know, it's just it's easy taking care of her. And as long as there's somebody around that cares, they take better care of that person than these people at the nursing homes that made her have such a bad bed sore that right above her butt crack, it was this big around, and her skin was swollen an inch thick, and it was black, necrotic, dying skin because they never moved her off her back. She's never had any bed sores since she's been home. You know what I'm saying? She never went into the hospital being septic. Septic means you're about to die. She did at the hospitals, you know, at the nursing homes. So yeah, fuck that shit. You know, it's just simple caring. And if you care about somebody, you know, you will take care of them. And that's all there is to it. Let me read some of this stuff here. Big Junior says, careful what you say, Big Rich, in the open. It could be premeditated. I don't care. I will beat the fucking crap out of this motherfucker if I ever catch him. I gave up 3 months of seeing my granddaughter so that he can find a place. And all he did was sit here, hang out, and take advantage and be comfortable and do his drugs in my bedroom. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. In contrast, New York says DJ needs a good old ass whooping. Yes, he does. Okay, Nancy Konskas says, can you guys talk about Epsom salt benefits? Does age accumulation act? There you go, Jerry.
Go ahead.
Be off. Run off. I'm doing I'm reading this stuff. If Sherwin says, how do you guys handle losing your favorite fish and not shutting everything down? Oh, I swear to God, every time I felt like it. I'm like, this ain't worth it no more. I'm done with this. This is bullshit. Every single time. And then somebody shows up and says, can I drop these fish off? And we're right back at it. So I have felt the pain of wanting to stop every single time. Buckleberry says, even if that's the case, the fuck is that? You killing her? People are crazy. No, just that one son of a bitch is mad at me because I wouldn't let him live here no more. Big Junior says, we don't believe in Big Rich. If anything, she's alive because of all you care and the love you give her. Well, thank you for that. Also, Ann's leaving. Happy American Dad says, Big Rich, can I ask a fishy question? What do you think is a fair price for an albino arapaima? I recently seen one at the aquarium. $1? I want one so bad. I don't know. I don't know what they're selling for. You know, I've heard, you know, stories of albino, you know, fly river turtles being 50 grand and all that stuff. I have no clue. I've not seen one. I've not seen one for sale, but I do believe they should be $1, so I can own one.
What's with all the stupid gay jokes tonight?
I don't know. Vasquez family says, Big Rich, you got to cook Jerry some Valentine's Day breakfast.
That's what I mean.
What do you want tomorrow? No, seriously, I'll cook you, like, I can make you pancakes, I can make you French toast, or I can make you oatmeal. I have all that in the cupboard.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll take some French toast if you wanted to make it, but I'm looking down the line. I'm getting tired of all of the damn gay jokes. Next one down there says, Jerry, I think Rich needs a neck rub for tonight.
So do I, Jerry.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna ever give me a neck rub. What the hell? Airtime says, who do you think will be the boss of the monster pond in 3 years? The arapaima.
No.
You don't think so?
No. The hybrid shows.
He's the boss now, but before that was Brutus.
There's hybrids behind him coming up that like his spot.
He won't get no bigger than 4 foot though. The arapaima will get 7, 8 foot.
The hybrid vigor, that hybrid out there right now is already about damn near the biggest one I've ever seen.
For sure.
That hybrid vigor.
Beetlejuice says, does Jerry have a boyfriend? He is really cute. What the fuck? Jerry's never gotten with a guy. Jerry likes women.
I mean, there's such a thing as a joke once in a while, and then there's, I mean.
John Bernaz says, neck rub with a happy ending. There's no happy endings going on here.
I don't know. I think he slipped into a gay time chant. You ever tried to have fun without it being at somebody else's expense?
It's never without being at somebody's expense.
No, it's possible.
Griselda Frightenstein says, did I miss the Skylar update? Yes, you did. She's very sick right now. She's got COVID. She's stuck at her dad's house. She has not gone to work in a couple days. She is very sick. She talked to me today, and she's very sick.
That they ask what's the lack of severums. She's had a few questions about severums this evening, but we've kind of glossed them over. We have a couple of beautiful severums out there in Bellagio community tank.
Yeah.
There's a really nice gold one that's starting to show some red spots. And there's a young one that's supposed to be gold. By that puppy it's almost white with tangerine colored fins. And there's a lot more species of severum than you think. Every damn bend in the river has this. Is just like all the other cichlids out there. Some of them are separated out into different genuses and others aren't.
Man, I never know that I'm going to be doing a live stream and I'm going to end up fucking bawling my eyes.
Yeah, well.
I hate that.
One of your mods should have an automatic cue in. See such and such a video if you want this story.
You know what?
The trouble is not able to turn you off.
We can't tell our mods, you got to handle all of our problems. You know what I'm saying?
No,
our mods do a great job.
Problems, but a mod can't very well hand it off to a video if you're continuing.
I'm actually in the process of making a video.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I can show you on the phone to where this is what happened to Tracy. This is what led up to it. This is what happened after Tracy, because I was visiting her every day and I was going to the Dunkin' Donuts and I was getting like a dozen donuts for the nurses to take extra special care of Tracy. So
Right.
every day I'd show up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I've got a dozen donuts for the nurses. And then I'd go spend the whole day with Tracy and I'd have to leave by 8 o'clock at night after, visiting time was over with. And I'd read all the people that said something to her online. I'd read to her all day long, and every once in a while,
For them.
the donut people,
No.
they would give me 2 or 3 cases of donuts instead of just the one. And I'm like, I only ordered the one. They're like, oh, it's okay. You're giving it to the nurses at the hospital. And I'm like, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. I took care of Tracy every day. Okay. Contrast New York says, I saw Asteroids in your arcade room. I have Asteroids as well. Classic black and white arcade game, much better than most of the high-res games. See, back in my day, we had an arcade that opened up next to Dairy Dell. It was called Space Palace. And I was actually on TV because I had like 29, things lined up in 2 rows, extra ships. And I was still playing. And I would walk away, give somebody else, play for a while. I'd walk away, I'd give you something to drink, give you something to eat, and I'd come back and take back over. And I had all these extra ships, and I would just cruise up. And as I'm cruising up, I'd turn and and just shoot these things. And it would keep cruising up from the bottom of the screen. And I just lined up extra ships. Well, we were on TV for that, and I loved that game. That game was awesome, and I had to get one as I got older. And I have the original Asteroids machine. So it's awesome. Tyler Kerr says, it's okay, Rich. Sometimes you have to let it out. It makes it better to let it out instead of keeping it bottled up. You're doing great regardless. We love you, big guy. Thank you, Tyler.
I think airtime beat us both there, man. We didn't take the Jowl catfish into consideration.
What do you mean?
In 3 years, that Jowl's going to be a monster.
Oh, he's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And a meat eater.
Yeah, neither of us took him into consideration. Airtime did. Says
He
about-
might be the boss.
Yeah, good call.
Hillbilly Rockstar says, was your band a cover band? And if so, did you have a favorite song to do? We actually kind of were, but not. We never had an opening band. Well, we did. And there was like Gypsy Boots or something like that opened up for us at different places. But mainly, our thing was, we have an 8,000 watt PA system with speakers. We're going to come to your bar. We're going to bring at least 300 people. We're going to make this blah, blah, blah. And then we'd play all 4 hours. The first 4 hours was classic metal. The second hour was like heavy metal. Third hour was stuff on, our originals. And then the fourth hour was stuff on the charts. So we played 4 hours and had everybody happy. And we had a listing. Here's like 400 songs. And when you walk in, you put a cross next to the song you want to hear. So every single night we played what the crowd wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? And whatever had the most crosses, that's the song we'd play. And it was a great thing. I mean, we did awesome. Making $800 a night 3 times a week. Split that up between 4 people. You know what I'm saying? Xanthi Ozab says, I actually like to see emotion and real life shit. There's so much fake stuff online. It's surprisingly refreshing.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad, somebody likes, but that was horrible for me.
somebody was talking about the violence on TV being biblical on the news. And I said, no. I said, the only thing even nearly biblical is the amount of information available today that just makes it look like it's worse. And the only thing that's really biblical is the amount of that information that's bullshit.
This is true. This is absolutely true. The amount of bullshit information.
I mean, there's information out there. You can find somebody that's going to tell you what you want to hear, man.
For sure.
That's just the way it is.
Vasquez family says the house must shake with those speakers in the basement. You know, I haven't used them in 5 years since Tracy's been hit down. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? We turn them on, but very low. We don't bother Tracy.
My experience with sound, those Alteks you got are enough to make the house shake.
Oh, for
And
sure.
that's what the out there.
They came out of a theater.
Yeah.
When Tracy was a electrician, they
Yeah.
gave her those speakers
Yeah.
to wire in all the new stuff. And then I called Altec Lansing and I
Yeah.
said, like, one of these tweeters are blown, and the tweeter's like, 24 inches wide. And they're like, what's the model on the back of that tweeter?
There's a
And-
reason you got to bolt them son of a bitches down.
Right. I asked, I tell them the model number, and they're like, no, you must get that wrong. Them speakers were only given out in the Altec Lansing Pro division.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? They go, well, these were only in high tech, like movie surround sound theaters
Were they
and all
using
that.
Wolverines?
And I'm
or-
like, well, that's where it came from. And the guy offered to buy them for me for $3,000 a piece. I denied it, and I was like, I need the tweeter for this. And they gave me a whole new wiring. I put it on, and I've never had to replace it since.
No.
And these speakers are amazing. And they're only 4 ohm, where my big speakers that are stacks are 8 ohm. So if I hook it up to this, my stereo is louder, the speakers are louder, everything sounds better. And then I run my 2,000 watt subwoofer from that.
All right.
Added to the Altec Lansings is
We're getting into a
amazing.
side conversation, cutting off the people, and it's after 8 o'clock.
Big Junior Jamla says, Big Rich, what's your liquor of choice? Vodka. Okay, I tried all the hard liquors like Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Wild Turkey, and family and friends got beat up. I tried all the like hot what do you want to call it? Goldenschlager, Aftershock, all that kind of stuff. The hot cinnamon drinks. And only friends got beat up. After I found vodka, I was a happy drunk. I just wanted to have fun, and that's that. And I walked away from trying to fight. So it's been vodka for the last, 20 some years. Tyler Curtis says, I was wondering if you were watching a movie with Tracy tomorrow. She don't really pay attention. And a lot of noise. I don't want her in a panic mode, so I don't have a lot of noise in the living room. Every once in a while, like if her favorite song comes on, like Hotel California by the Eagles, if that comes on, I'll go in there and turn it up and I'll sing it to her. And then after the song, I'll turn it down, because I don't know if she's hearing me, if she just hears colors or sounds or, I don't know. I don't want to freak her out, Beetlejuice says, have you ever drank rum? Yes. And I woke up the next day in a public park on my back. I open my eyes and I see treetops. I'm like, what the hell? And I look around and I don't know where I'm at. Then I realize I'm not wearing a shirt. I look around a little more and realize I'm in my tidy whities. I'm in my underwear at this public park. I get up and I start looking around, and like 50 feet away from me, I find my clothes and stuff. And I guess I just walked and undressed and passed out on the ground, And not to mention, I was in Delray Beach, Florida at Lake Ida Park, public park. I was like, what the hell? I don't remember any of that for like 2 days before that. I don't drink rum no more. Beetlejuice. That's hilarious. One time I mixed rum and tequila and I woke up with a sore butt and $20 in my wallet. That's hilarious.
And no wonder he's so fast with the gay jokes.
It's all good. It's all good. One of our mods deleted it anyway. It's cool.
Yeah, I think if we were monetized, we already been shut down by a couple of times. Some of the subject matter and the words that are used around here.
Well, look, you've been here
They
for
won't let them show it on
right.
YouTube.
You've been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
And in that sense, you've seen me take care of Tracy. You see me handle people. You see me let everybody live here. You see me, take care of people and help people and all that stuff. And now you're at the end of your 3 years. Are you ready to leave because of bullshit?
You're making it sound like it's the end of my 3 years. What are you planning?
Oh no, I'm not planning nothing. Are you?
I know.
You've been here and been solid. Are you ready to leave because of the bullshit?
Told you no.
See, there you go. That's all that matters. He's here every single day and he sees everything that happens. And he's gone through the same shit. Like he lived the life with Kathy. Where the fuck did she get that from? She woke up from a dream and thought I was whooping her ass and killing her dog and all that crazy shit. And he's the only one that came up with a solution. She must have been dreaming and woke up. That's the only thing that makes any sense to us. So I don't know. Hayden says Jerry has spoken. No more gay stuff.
Thou shalt not pass.
Right.
You damn Baylog. No. No.
Carl says at least you still had $20. A sore butt and $20 is $20. That's hilarious. Crazy Cichlid says, whatever happened to Greg Woodstock and the pond upgrades? Okay, let me let you in on that. All right, it's been 4 years since Greg said he'll come back and fix this, he'll do that. And he wanted colored lights into the pool pond. He sent us the lights. They're still sitting in the back of the pond. And then we were like, the pool pond out back, the pond that we made, we undersized the whole filtration system. We did wrong. And, we need you to come in and fix this. And, he said he would. Then the next year, after waiting a year, he said, oh, of course, we're coming this year. And he put us off again. And then the next year, he goes, well, that's Ed's thing. He does all the, repairs. You need to talk to Ed. So we talked to Ed. And Ed tells us, we love Ed. We love Greg. But they're passing the buck between them. Here's the thing. Ed tells us, oh, I only got so much money I'm allowed to spend, and you're going to need to talk to Greg if you want to add it in on this year, blah, blah, blah. So we talk back to Greg, and Greg says, no, you need to talk to Ed, blah, blah, blah. So you know what? We gave up on aquascape. It's been 4 years. We've gone without, and we should have done it ourselves the first year. So this summer, we're going to dig our own thing. We're going to make our own, thing, filtration, and do all this ourselves because you really can't trust anybody else. And, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing that. They're passing the buck between each other. They're both great people, but they're definitely passing the buck. Ed says, I can't do it without Greg's. And Greg says, it's Ed's thing. You need to talk to Ed. And you know what? We're still sitting here. This is going on 5 years now that we've waited for Ed and Greg to show up, and they're not showing up. So we're going to do it ourselves this summer. We're going to fix everything and make it better, fix the filtration, do all that ourselves. That's all I can say about Greg Woodside. Leanne Garrett says, do you ship fish to Louisiana and goldfish or any? No, we don't ship at all because we haven't ran into a situation where we couldn't get rid of fish. We can still, get rid of all of our fish. We work with a bunch of different public aquariums. We work with a bunch of people that build big aquariums. We have a client list that we don't have to worry about yet. So we do give out many, many fish, but people came here and they check them out and then they take them home. Okay. We never had to delve into shipping yet.
If we shipped once or twice everybody would expect it. Why didn't you? And it would take a facility at least a quarter of the size of what we have now in order just to handle shipping and receiving. And
Well, not only that, you know,
it's pointless.
we don't have a shipping room. We don't have a bunch of shipping boxes.
That's
We
what
don't
I
have
mean.
bags. We don't have the CO2. We don't have none of this. And we haven't needed any of that because we find places for all of our fish, no problem. So when that becomes a problem to where we need to find more places, we might go into shipping. I don't think so at this point, but it may happen. You know what I'm saying?
The only way I'd go into shipping is if you went into retail at the same time. We don't even have room for babies. Everybody says, well, why don't you let them breed, or they're breeding? And yes, it's beautiful, but it's because we set them up with the best conditions that we can offer.
Right.
And they do the breeding. We don't breed them, you know, and we just don't have the facilities to grow out the babies. So we set it up so that they can go through the functions, but we're not raising the children. Now, the silver Argentinas would be great. Automatically, I mean, the red dovi, but oh man, if we get a bunch of babies from them leporinas, that's going to be a miracle.
Right.
I mean, it's a miracle for them to even breed.
Thibault says, do they do it for free or do you have to pay? We haven't had to pay. They have done it for free, and they want to show up and say that their filtration is the best and blah, blah, blah. And we've given them that chance. And now it's been 4 years we've gone without. And then we got, another company that gave us 2 big filtration systems for out there, and it helped out a lot. And Greg got really, really mad at us.
No,
So not only do I have to deal with him not coming, but I can't have anybody else help us at all. So, he got mad about it, and I told him, I'm like, look, we're just trying to keep our pond clean, and you guys haven't showed up. So these people offered to give us filtration. Why would I say no? And he got mad about that. And then he eventually admitted that he didn't do it on purpose. He didn't do it out of malice. I believe that,
What most people don't get is that Greg didn't mess up that pond back there. Rich oversized it.
Oh, no. That's absolutely true.
Somebody out there in this online made a crack about Greg screwing up the pond.
Oh, no.
And that
let me straighten that up. Stop. Let me straighten that up. Greg came here and he made a 4-foot by 10-foot trough he was going to do, for the pond in the backyard. And it was going to go against the whole back deck. And because our deck is 40 foot. And I decided that during this, he sent out all this equipment. Here's the pond stuff. Here's the filter stuff, blah, blah, blah. I used his pond liner for the roofing of our roof that we put over the deck, which was 16 by 40. And then, a 10-foot deep pond is going to be 4 foot, 8 foot by 4 foot. So we're talking 16 foot, right? By 40 foot long. And this was going to be our thing. So I used that for my roofing because I was going to have to pay for roofing anyway. So what I did was I put an extra $2,000 in, bought a liner instead of 14 by 40. I bought 30 by 60. And I put in a pond 30 by 50. Okay. But we didn't think at the time that we needed a bigger wet dry system. That was on our fault. We did that. So we built it the way that, Greg had said, 8 foot by 4 foot or 5 foot by, whatever. And we did all that. But we didn't realize that we're adding more than 3 times onto the size of the pond. And the whole wet dry system needed to be 3 times bigger. We didn't think of that at the time. We were all worried about, I'm spending $10,000 on rock. We need to carry these rocks in. We're doing all this. We dug it out. We did all this stuff. And Greg wasn't supposed to, or needed to come back and fix our fuck up. But he said he would. He was going to cut up our wetland filtration and put it in much bigger. And we waited and waited and waited. So this 4 years that we've been waiting is, useless. The bottom dollar is our pond is not clear, and we need a bigger filtration. And it's not their fault. It was definitely my fault. I don't know what to say about that. But now they are playing games. Greg says you need to talk to Ed. Ed says you need to talk to Greg. I'm on so much of a budget, I can't fit you in. Blah blah blah. And Greg goes, you need to talk to Ed and get taken care of. So we're out of that. We're just done. We're gonna fix it ourselves this summer and make a bigger thing. We're gonna have to rent a. What do you call them little machines that dig down?
Backhoe or trencher?
Not a trencher, but something like that. A mini excavator. We're going to have to rent that and dig like a 40-foot long trench. We're going to have to fill it up with a bunch of the filtration pallets. They look like egg crates, And then we're going to have to put, rocks on top of it for 1.5 feet, and then smaller rocks for another foot, and then smaller rocks, even a 1/4 inch for the top, and have it a reverse underground filtration system. So that's where that's hanging at,
Well, I got a comment with Tyler Carey. Says Jerry's like a pit bull. Let him off the leash. Low, a dog will bite back. I actually like that reference. He's going, sorry, seriously, no disrespect. That was disrespectful.
No, I agree with that. That's how you are around here.
You don't call me the dogfish for nothing. The dog that earned me that name was a red-nosed pit bull.
Carl says he probably just figured that you're going to do that, whatever you wanted at the end of the day, regardless. No.
Yeah.
They put us off for 4 years. We've been waiting for them to come in, and we didn't do our thing because he said he's coming. He said, Ed's coming. He said he's going to do this. He said, blah, blah, blah. Cybolt says, where would you place the extra filtration for the pond? Okay. Right now we have, do you guys remember, the pond is 30 by 40, and then we have a what we call a bog filter. In other words, it's just water running down the whole thing to the waterfall. We're going to dig up. Right now, the first 8 foot is 8 foot down, 5 foot wide. And that's all filtration for a much smaller tank. Okay. We're going to continue that filtration out like 30 foot and dig it all out. And then we're going to put, the centipede in there. We're going to put the gravel over it. Then we're going to put the smaller gravel over it. Then the smallest gravel over it. And then, we're still going to have the same bog filter where we can set plants in, but it's going to be 8 foot deep and going through all this filtration. So that's what we're going to do.
I'd bite that damn hand, but it wouldn't do no good.
I will give you this. You're old as fuck and quick as fuck. I mean, I just went out, and you were there.
I was just shortly about a week after I was here, Rich was making some joke about, we were out there out in the front and in front of the garage laughing and joking about something. And Rich tried to grab me. And I stayed within reach. I stayed within about 3 to 6 inches of him and just kept dodging. And he finally got my hat. Okay, I'll stop.
How did that go? How did that go?
It was hilarious.
You went,
Oh, you were trying to catch me. I'm just bouncing around. I am fast.
Suanne says, no, Tyler, Jerry is Chihuahua. He will eat you alive. Rich is the pit. He's big, bad, he's loud, but okay, I don't know what that means.
I comparing us to different breeds of dog.
I guess. You're the ankle biter and I'm the pit bull. Tyler says, like I said, that dog will bite back.
Yeah.
Xanthi says, you guys born and raised in Ohio then? Absolutely. There you go.
No.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was born and raised in Oregon and what's that called with
Mostly Washington.
the coldness, the Minnesota?
No, I wasn't raised up there.
But that's where you came from.
That's where I moved down here from. Yeah. That's where my ex-wife was from.
Hayden says, Jerry has got some spunk. Don't press his buttons. He's like a mouthy pit bull. Okay, I'll give him that. All right, guys. It's 8:30.
No, I was born and raised up in the Puget Sound of Washington State.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As far north.
Isn't that where all the Bigfoot are?
It's yeah. As far as north.
Have you seen one?
As far north and west as you can get from that other damn Washington. No, I have not seen Bigfoot. And I'm not allowed to talk about Brother Bear.
I think I'm right here.
Yeah, you think you with your nose, man, that Bigfoot critter that does exist, as far as I'm concerned, he has got a smell that makes skunks smell like petunia. Man, every once in a while you get a whiff of something out there in the woods. Oh man, you ain't coming nowhere near that son of a bitch. Oh man, there are some. It ain't no rotten cedar bull either.
Tyler Kerr says, fuck what these kids say about Ohio. There's one thing that's real there, and that's OFR. Bye. DJ sucks.
Well, Tyler, bye.
Here's to you,
We're
brother.
enjoying you. DJ sucks. Let's
DJ
call it
sucks.
a day. I gotta go get them fish fed and shit anyway.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a fun time. Appreciate it. And I will see you next Friday, I guess.
Everybody stay fishy.
Thunbo says, will you continue doing out-of-state rescues? Yes, we just got the van back up and running. And Reaper is going to Michigan this Saturday, pick up a big arapaima.
Yeah. Bubba's gonna have some company.
For sure. All right, guys.